Hello everyone, it's Sheila back again with a little bit more today. Since I got the circular needles from Daggery, I've been trying them out. These ones, the green ones, I thought they were wood but they're not. And it's actually got written on them 8mm, US 11, 8mm. And until I took them out the packet, they did look like wood, but they're not wood. And I don't know if they're some kind of plastic, but they're very strong. They don't bend or anything like that. And I've been trying them. Well, this one, when I took them out the packet, I had to put them into some hot water because, you know, they're all twisted round like that. And they didn't untwist. It was all squirrely like that. So I put them in some hot water and I tried these ones first. And then I went on to the other one. The Sheila, I don't know how you pronounce that. These ones, when I took them out the packet, they untwisted themselves. I didn't need to put them in any hot water. They're untwisting, but I'm using both of them on here. I'm using them like a pair of needles, just to see which ones I like the best. And up to now, I like these ones, the green ones actually. They're both good to work with. I can work with the points being shorter, but the green one, the point is about a fraction shorter than the, I don't know if you can see where the stitches come to. I'll hold the stitches to where they're actually. Probably about 1/8 of an inch shorter the point, and I can knit a lot faster when the points are shorter. So I've just been testing both of them, and I'm knitting, using them like they're a pair of needles actually, like a pair of straight needles. And I can knit a lot faster with these than I could with those stupid pony ones. Those pony ones are going in the bin. Or maybe I'll give them away to somebody who's not as bothered about how fast they can knit as what I am like. But the shorter the points, the less distance you have to put them through the loop, so they go through a lot quicker, and you don't have as far to wrap the wool around the needle with me being a thrower. I'm nearly coming to the end of the blue here. I'm going to have to add another bowl, but it's funny. I'm using two circulars. Yeah, like a pair of needles, like a pair of straight needles. And I think I'll keep on doing that actually. I don't have to worry about them being curled around and turned around the thing. But I'll pause the video a little bit, and I've put the blanket on the floor, and I've made a little, just a few seconds little video so you can see what it actually looks like when it's straightened out. So that's knitted off one, and I'll just use the other one to knit straight across like. That's wrapping around there. At least I could have two things on the go at once with two sets of the same size now, like two blankets on the go, if I want. So I'll just pause this video a minute. That's how much of the blanket I've got done. It is 20 inches by 28 inches. So I have another 9 inches to knit and pattern, and 1 inch for the border, because it's going to be 30. It was, other blankets I've done were 26 by 30, but I'm doing this one on a 8mm instead of 7mm, just so it would knit up a bit quicker actually. But I think it looks better in the it's a bit more airy, and it's much better on the other circular needles that Daggery sent to me. I'm just showing you my flowers. These are flowers I got on Mother's Day, which was 2.5 weeks ago. And they're actually still going quite strong. Just starting to wilt a bit. But I'm amazed they've lasted this long. It's lovely when you get flowers that last a long time. I don't know whether it's something that was in the stuff you put in the water to feed them, but they've lasted a really long time and I'm really happy about those. They'll be getting thrown away soon, but be compost in my garden. I just thought I'd let you see my flowers as well. They were from Mother's Day. That's my granddaughter bought them for me. That's almost 3 weeks ago and they're still going strong. I think maybe it's have a lot to do with it's a lot cooler in my house than where it used to be with you know, this cost of living thing. We don't have the heating on all the time like we did before, so I think things like flowers and that are lasting longer. It's like sometimes food stuff, you know, like I have stuff in my fruit bowl, apples and all that. They seem to last longer as well. It must be the cooler temperatures in the house. You haven't got the heating sending them off quicker. So we've learned something like with this cost of living crisis thing, haven't we? Now started off again, and that was just so you could see what the blanket actually looks like when it's laid out flat. Plenty room for a new baby in it. Oops, I've only put one strand of wool around there. That's the thing, you have to be careful when you're knitting with 2 strands like this. Sometimes when you're knitting quick, you might not notice you've only put 1 strand around the needle. So you've got to pull that row out. I'll have to push all these stitches up here now. But anyway, I made myself a fresh cup of tea. Yeah. And I'm having one of Marilyn's scones. I've got one of her scones. There was actually 2, Marilyn, there was actually 2 whole scones in that packet. The rest were all smashed and broken up. But that's not to worry, because I'm going to make a base. I have a packet of stuff for to make a cheesecake, where you have to use your own biscuits. Usually use digestive biscuits and break them up and put the stuff. So I'm going to use the scones that were broken up in the packet, and I'm going to lay them on the bottom and make a cheesecake. And I'll probably take it to my granddaughter's on Sunday. So I'm going to have one of these scones here to taste. I don't think they're the type of scones. Usually when I make scones, I make them, cut them in half. If they're cheese scones, so we should put butter on. Or if they're just ordinary sweet scones, sugar scones, cut them open and put you know, some butter and some jam in. But I don't think I could do that with these ones. I think if I try to cut these ones, I'll probably drop to bits. That's the type of what they are. I'm going to have a taste anyway. Yes, they're all very crumbly. They're lovely. I'll have another bite. You can taste the orange flavour. But I'll put that down for a minute. Have some of my tea. But you know, these things that my subscribers send me, you know, they don't help me losing any weight, you know. When I get things like that, I can't stop eating them. So I'm going to do a bit more of this blanket. Hopefully it'll get finished pretty soon. I think if I'd had the proper circular needles to start with, it probably would have been finished by now, but when I was knitting it with the, these needles, they're like pokers, these needles to me, you know, the 8mm. When I was knitting with these, as the blanket was getting longer and longer, when I'm working with needles, I always have one needle resting on my arm like that. I knit like that. Well, as it was getting longer, there was too much to rest on my arm and I was having to put it down and knit like that way, and I do not knit like that way when I'm using needles. I do with the circulars, but not with ordinary needles, and it was getting rather awkward. Actually, I was looking online. I thought I was actually going to have a look to buy some. I was going to, best I could, measure the tips on all of the ones I could see, and I was going to buy some online. So Jaggery beat me to it. So I will sit and do a little bit of this. I still haven't finished that little, I put that little cardigan down. I was in the middle of doing that. If I hadn't gotten this Happy Meal, that would have been finished by now. I started doing this instead. But it's quite handy having two of these, like I say, you're just knitting like a pair of needles, only they're on a long wire. Each one's on a long wire. It's a pity you kind of get knitting needles like that as well. You know, you get crochet hooks for doing the, what do they call that, Tunisian crochet. You get crochet hooks like that with long wires with like little ball things or bead things stuck on the end. This is pity you didn't do knit needles like that as well. You know, because I could use the little short ones then. I can't use the short ones when there's just the short needle. But it's okay when you've got a long length of something on the end of it. That would be an idea, that, for not actually for knitting circular, but just for knitting with a long cable on the end. I don't know whether it would work actually. Well, it would work because your wool's at the front of the needle all the time. When you finished it, you would just go on to the other side. Anyway, that's just a little bit extra for today. Keep us all happy. And I'm going to sort what I'm putting on for tonight and sort my hair out, tidy my hair up. Because you can always tell when it's just been washed, it hangs down. So, thumbs up and subscribe again. And I'll catch you all another time. So, bye for now again.